All right, we're live. Hey everyone, welcome. Hey, I'm Kip Boyle, and I don't know if you think about me this way, but I think of myself as a practitioner who goes out into the world, works with people who want to get things done that I know how to help them with, and then I share what I learn. Now, a few months ago, I stood on a stage at Qualis's ROCon event. So this is their their annual training event for the Americas. And there was an audience of 500 people, and I was able to talk with them about a paradox that we all in the cybersecurity career field, and really any senior decision maker who's who is responsible for cyber risk, has to understand. So the paradox is this: fire hasn't changed since the dawn of humanity. It's still a tool and a risk. But our cyber adversaries, well, they're evolving every single day. And today I'm bringing the conversation that I had with ROCon to you because, let's face it, the world is changing faster than our mindset can keep up. And as a result of that, what I'm seeing is we're currently caught in a vice, right? We got a rock on one side and a hard place on the other side. So attackers are using artificial intelligence to scale their operations. That's on one side. And then on the other side, our own organizations are adopting AI like there's no tomorrow. And both of these forces are pressing down on us and outgunning our cybersecurity budgets and, in some cases, our know-how. So in the video you're about to see, I'm going to share two stories that changed how I think about cyber risk and the world ahead. So the first story is about the summer of Sarah, and this is about how a seemingly perfect employee became an insider threat in just about 4 weeks. And the other story is about somebody called Patricia, who got a call and gave away $12 million of the company's money, even though they had perfect controls because of an AI voice clone. Now, this isn't just about technical glitches and issues. Really what I'm seeing is this is a fundamental shift in how we protect our organizations. And ultimately, I want to challenge you. I think you have a choice. I think we all have a choice in front of us. Will you be an Alex? And I'm going to tell Alex's story. Alex tries to secure this new world with the same tired old techniques that really haven't worked in the past either. Or are you going to be a Jordan? Jordan embeds themselves into the generative AI business value proposition and figures out what's really going on. So, all right, I'm going to hit play on the keynote now. Hope you enjoy it, and I hope that you let me know what you think. Well, good morning, ROCon. How are you? Yeah? Well, it's great to see you. I'm so glad to see you. So again, I'm Kip Boyle. I am a CISO who teaches. That's how I think about myself. I'm a practitioner. I go out and I do work with people who want to get things done. And then I take what I learn and then I share that with people. And that's what I want to do with you today. So I want to share with you what I'm seeing out there. I work as a fractional CISO. So that gives me tremendous view of what's going on in different industries, different sizes of companies, and I love it. I really, really love my work. So let's begin with a paradox. Let's start with fire. You know, fire hasn't changed since the dawn of humanity. By the way, I know you're all going to fact check me anytime I say anything related to science or whatnot, and that's cool. Keep me honest. But listen, fire is very useful for us to understand because it's a static risk. It's made up of just 3 things. In order for fire to happen, you need fuel, oxygen, and heat. If you bring those 3 things together, you have fire. If you remove just one of those, then nothing happens. So fire is the same as it's been for thousands and thousands of years. It's the same three elements that our ancestors discovered way back when. Now, as human beings, we've gone from running from fire in terror, right? When we first saw fire, I imagine our ancestors thought it was just like something to be dreaded and to be stayed away from. But nowadays, look around this room. We've got smoke detectors everywhere, sprinkler systems, should we need them. You know, everything in this room is built of fire-resistant materials, even though you can't tell. We've even got firefighters. Did you know they've got equipment that allows them to enter a smoke-filled room and actually see through the smoke in order to be able to do their job? It's amazing. So fire didn't evolve, right? We evolved. Now I want you to think about cyber threats, because there's a reason I'm telling you a story about fire, yeah? See, fire doesn't innovate, but the adversaries, right? The people who are trying to mess with us, well, they evolve every single day, don't they? Right? They are learning, they're adapting, they're innovating what they do. Every defense that we build in order to protect ourselves, they're studying everything we do, right? Just like we study their tools, their tactics, their techniques, and their procedures, right? We spend a lot of time trying to understand exactly how they do things, and they're doing that to us as well. Every digital wall that we build, no matter how tall, no matter how thick, they're finding a way to get over it, to get around it, or to get through it. That's what phishing's all about. And yet, here we are, right? We're trying to fight tomorrow's digital battles with yesterday's mindset. And you can imagine that's not going to go too well, yeah? If we're just prepared to fight the last war, that's something that's a pattern that occurs in human history over and over and over again. So I want to talk with you today about what has changed, right? Because we really haven't done anything to cause this to change, the situation we find ourselves in. And this is something I talk with customers about a lot, is this idea that the world around us changes. And the question for us is, what are we going to do to know when it changes? And then how do we know how we have to change in order to keep up with it, okay? So let me show you first of all, the acceleration that's happening. So last month, Anthropic, you guys know who Anthropic is, right? That's the company that makes a bunch of different AI models, right? Like Opus and Sonnet, right? So they dropped, for the first time, a report about threats, about cyber threats related to AI, and specifically what they were seeing, the way people were using their artificial intelligence models. And so they documented something that they're calling, wait for it, vibe hacking. Why not, right? Let's everybody get on the bandwagon. So now in their report, they told this one particular story, which I thought was super interesting. It was about a cyber attacker who exploited 17 organizations in less than a handful of weeks. Think about that. This is somebody who is just chatting with AI and learning how to do cyber exploitations. This is not somebody working in a nation-state context. This is not a criminal gang. This is one person having a conversation with artificial intelligence. This is an amateur who has suddenly become very dangerous. But that's just the external threats, which
we're very much aware of the fact that we have a lot of people outside of our organizations that want to do bad things to us. But let me paint you a picture of what's happening inside organizations right now. So this little story I call The Summer of Sarah. So think about Sarah. She's a junior IT admin. She works at a hospital, a regional hospital. She's been doing that for about 3 years now. Sarah's a great employee, gets great reviews. She's never a problem, never a problem. And because of that, the cybersecurity team doesn't even think about her, right? Because why? Because she's inside the perimeter, because she's trusted, yeah? So last June, she started using an AI coding assistant. And it was positioned as a productivity tool. And it was IT approved. So still, everything's like smelling right. Well, so in week 1, she was asking the coding assistant, hey, can you help me analyze these logs so I can see what's going on in these systems? By week 2, she was asking, hey, would you please show me email server misconfigurations? Super productive, right, Sarah? In week 3, she said, help me write a script to back up our patient database. Okay, so what do you think happened next? Where do you think this is all going? Can you see it? Right? In week 4, she's copying patient records. Why? To sell them. 400,000 patient records that she wants to sell. Why is she doing this? Well, it's not because she's an activist. It's not because she is trying to serve some sense of justice that she has. Nope. She's doing it because she wants to earn about $50 per record as she sells them to identity theft gangs. Now, why is she doing this? The perfect employee. What's going on here? Well, her son has cancer. And she's $80,000 in medical debt. And Sarah's just telling herself that she's just taking what the system owes her. And in just 4 weeks, AI has transformed Sarah from a junior IT admin that everybody loved, and now she's a genuine internal threat. You see, the AI never questioned the ethics of the tasks that it was helping Sarah to accomplish. It just provided the capability that she asked it to give to her. Now, what can we learn from the Summer of Sarah, this story? Well, there's a deeper truth here that I think we all have to acknowledge. And maybe some of you are feeling this deeper truth already, but I want to put words to it, and I want you to move it from a feeling into a language, right? I want to bring it to the front of your mind. So we here in the cybersecurity community, we're caught in a vice right now. I don't know if you can feel it, but I certainly can. Both sides of this vice are closing in on us, all right? On one side, we've got cyber attackers, insiders, outsiders, and they are using AI to scale themselves, all right? And it's not just outsiders, right? It's not just individuals. It's also nation states. For crying out loud, it's even high schoolers. There's really no limit. Now, on the other side of this vice, our companies are adopting AI like there's no tomorrow, right? How many people have heard their senior decision makers talk about what a great thing AI is going to do for us, yeah? Have you heard that? Yeah, most of us have, right? Or we've read stories about it. And the investments right now are massive, aren't they? hundreds of billions of dollars globally are being put into AI transformation right now. And I'll bet for every dollar that's going into cybersecurity, there's probably $10 going into AI transformation. We're totally outgunned by the people who are trying to rip us off, and we're totally outgunned by these AI transformations that are happening, yeah? And so what's happening to us? Why are we being pinched? Well, we've got the same head count, right? Has anybody given you additional head count because of this? Probably not. In fact, probably the opposite. They're probably telling you we need to reduce head count because we're going to use AI to get these tickets closed, to get these logs analyzed, right? You're not going to need to do all that work anymore. So let's see you free up some FTEs. So we also have the same tools. Worse than all of that, however, is that our thinking, our strategy, the way we're even viewing this problem space is an old mindset, all right? And because of that, we're getting crushed. And if you're not feeling crushed yet, I think you might start feeling the crush, right? These two sides pushing in on you. So we need a different kind of power. We need some leverage to deal with this situation, okay? Now, Sarah, her story, the story that I told you, it's not about better detection, although, let's face it, that would be helpful, but we need more than that. We need to ask better questions about what's really going on in our organizations, as well as the people who are coming at our organizations on the outside. So I've got a CISO friend, and I'm going to call her Patricia, and she inherited, when she changed employers, this really mature cybersecurity program, right? And you can see Patricia's got these fantastic dashboards, right? Nice, calm, peaceful blue color everywhere, right? Green is like, that's old hat, okay? Blue is where it's at now, right? Blue's the new green. So Patricia's vulnerability scores were really strong. Every quarter, she's showing improvement. And the board loved it. I mean, this is a really compelling story that she was telling, and it was real. Now, how many of you are killing it like Patricia is killing it, right? Your numbers are going up and to the right. You're getting your arms around, these vulnerabilities. You're pushing patches. It's all good, right? This great cyber hygiene that you're making happen. Now, Patricia, she felt like she was measuring everything that she was supposed to be. She felt like she was protecting everything that she was supposed to be. And what she realized was, and in a really awful way, which I'm going to share with you in a moment, that this wasn't true anymore. It might have been true at one point, but it wasn't true anymore. So about 6 months into her tenure, she gets a call. And it turns out that the CFO just wired $12 million to a bunch of scammers. You've heard this story before, right? Maybe this has even happened in your org. And you're like, yeah, been there, done that. Now, the CFO swore up and down to Patricia that it was the CEO who video called him. The CFO said, I saw his face, I heard his voice. And the story that the CFO got told was that there was an urgent confidential acquisition. You've heard this before, right? Yeah, this is a really common scam that's going on out there. The CEO says, this is time sensitive. We've got to wire the money now. And don't worry, we'll deal with the paperwork later. To make it more interesting, the CEO was on travel when this call happened. And from the CFO's perspective, that gave it a little extra credibility, right? Well, the investigation later on revealed that the attackers used the same AI video platform that the company itself had adopted as part of its digital transformation. And they had used 30 seconds of their CEO's voice that they got from some earnings calls that he'd done They harvested a few photos from the company website. And if you've been paying attention, you should know that's really all it takes these days. The AI tools are amazing. So think about it. $12 million out the door. Were any systems breached? Maybe the video conferencing system, but that was about it. There was no malware, no stolen credentials. And on the back end of this, Patricia tells me, all my cybersecurity controls were perfect, practically perfect. But it didn't matter, because we're in an age now where seeing isn't believing anymore. And people are just haven't taken that corner yet, right? So think about it. Beautiful blue-colored dashboards everywhere, $12 million out the door in about 20 minutes. So Patricia, I like Patricia, she's asking different questions now because of that awful experience. She's asking things like, what could end our business if it was exploited? And she's asking questions like, where are we creating value that others would practically kill to get their hands on? So she's paying attention. There's new questions here that we need to be asking ourselves, and there's real defenses that we need to be creating for this different world that we're living in. So guess what? This is where the idea of a risk operations center enters into the scene, all right? Don't think of it as another room full of screens that everyone's struggling to make sense of, right? This is not a SOC. This is an opportunity to bring a perspective on business value together with the cybersecurity reality that we've found ourselves in the middle of, right? This is your leverage point to keep that vice from squeezing you into oblivion. Now, Patricia was able to transform her approach. Now, transformation, these kinds of transformations is a choice. I want to tell you a story about two other people. So it's June 2025, and we're at the all-hands meeting for a Fortune 500 financial services firm. Now, the CEO, like every other CEO, apparently, announces that generative AI is going to transform every aspect of our business. Now, in the audience, there are two cybersecurity architects. They're sitting in the same row. They have the same experience base. They have the same certifications. They're functionally capable of doing the same things. But listening to the CEO, they have two very different reactions. Alex thinks, dang, more systems to secure. So he turns to his old standby, right? Budget request, need more scanning tools, probably would help if we built an AI vulnerability taxonomy, right? We could use one of those. And he ran off and he wrote a 200-page AI security standards document. Oh, Alex. What do you think happened to Alex, huh? What do you think happened to Alex using that approach, facing this situation, yeah? Well, his job gets automated by the same AI that he was trying to secure. That's what happens to Alex. And now he's scrambling to reinvent himself because transformation came to him and changed his world. Now let's talk about the other security architect. So Jordan hears the same message that Alex hears. But Jordan says, I think I'd better dive into the business value proposition. I want to understand why this is happening. So she embeds herself in the AI transformation team, and she learns from them what competitive advantage AI would create for her company. And then she builds security into the AI initiatives rather than trying to build a wall around them. And now she's on track to becoming the chief risk officer for her organization. And the board calls her to get her take before they approve any additional AI investments. So I want you to remember that Alex and Jordan had the same skill set, same capabilities. It's just that one of them realized something that the other one didn't. We're in a world now where AI is handling or will soon handle the technical tasks, right? So your value now, depending on where your organization is in its AI transformation, your value now and in the future is going to be not what you know, which is weird, but it's really about more what do you understand about the business that you serve. That's where your value is going to come from in the future. Now, as I look around the room, and I love how full this room is, and I love the opportunity to be here today, and I would guess that about maybe half of you here already get what I'm saying. You're picking up what I'm putting down. You were picking up what I was putting down before you ever even got here. You're asking the right questions. You're speaking business language. You get it. But the other half of you who are kind of waking up to this now, well, I'm just here to tell you that you need to make a decision because I think your window of opportunity is closing. And I don't want you to be left behind. We don't need you to be left behind. We need you to transform because we're going to need more people who get it than people who don't. So remember Sarah, right? She went from junior IT admin to insider threat in 4 weeks. And Patricia's attackers defeated millions in cybersecurity spend with what? A webcam and some AI magic, right? Technical skills are not enough anymore for us. These attacks that I've been describing that are happening, they're not technical, they're human. They're business, they're trust. So if you're still thinking in CVEs, well, our adversaries are not thinking in CVEs as much. And if you stay there, you are potentially going to lose, and I don't want that for you. So Jordan, in the story, chose to innovate, yeah? And that's exactly what firefighters have done with fire. Fire didn't innovate, but the firefighters did. They created prevention systems, early warning systems, rapid response protocols, and community resilience. It wasn't just about the technical stuff for firefighters. They didn't try to eliminate the fire. We can't. We can't enjoy modern life without some kind of heat creating some electricity for us, yeah? So we've learned how to use it productively, and I believe that that's the attitude that we have to take with this artificial intelligence. You, in the audience, you're the innovators in this time. You have to go beyond patches. You have to be thinking about what is important, what's most important, given these new threats. You can't just be about alerts. You've got to be more proactive about what's coming at us, things that we cannot get alerts on. You can't just be closing tickets. You've got to let the machines do that busy work so you can think about the stuff that is changing and coming at us in ways that it never has before. Don't think about just uptime. I want you to think about profit and loss, right? This is how you get your seat at the table. Fire's never going to learn how to think, but our adversaries, they already do. I know you're going to adapt. I know you are. That's really not the question. The question is whether you're going to lead through this transformation or whether you're going to follow. And whether you're going to be the one defining what cybersecurity means in the AI world or whether you're going to be the one reading about it later. So you got to decide, are you going to be Alex or are you going to be Jordan? Here, this is your opportunity. This is your moment to think about that. Am I going to be Alex or am I going to be Jordan? The next 3 days is your launch pad. You're going to learn tools. You're going to get frameworks. Use them all Today at lunch, I want you to find somebody who thinks like Jordan, and I want you to get their contact information, and I want you to stay in touch with them. You need allies. But the most important thing is when you get back to work and you go in on Monday morning, whenever you start your work, and you pop open your laptop, what are you going to do first? Are you going to check the scan report results? Or are you going to set up a meeting with your AI product manager and start leaning into what's going on? Are you going to play the old game, or are you going to learn how to play the new game? Okay. No one's waiting. Everyone's moving. This transformation's happening. I don't want you to wait. Don't wait. You're here. You don't have to wait. But I want you to go be Jordan. Yeah? I'll be around if you want to talk some more about this. Thank you.
All right. So, hope that makes it really clear. I think that there really are two doors here. And I hope that you're going to make a choice to walk through the door where you're going to be leading other people, folks, not just on the cybersecurity team, but also in the broader organization that you're a part of. What I don't want for you is to either be the one who just sort of follows along, or, and I really don't want this for you, be the one whose job ends up getting eliminated because you're doing things that an AI can do maybe 80% as well. Maybe there is a good enough there. I don't want that for you. So anyway, thanks for joining today. Really appreciate it. And I hope this was helpful. If you have any questions about any of this material that I've shared today, reach out and send me over your questions. You can do that on LinkedIn. I'm pretty active there, and I would love to hear from you. All right. Thanks a lot.